This conference will now be recorded.
So access control list, actually it's giving an access control to a particular file or a folder to somebody. So we can see that, or we have seen that while modifying the ownership or while modifying the permission of a file, we might have seen that there is some section called user. There are three sections after that called group. I mean, those three settings were for group, and after that, those three settings were for everyone else. Like we might have seen that read write x, read write x, read write x. So first three is for user, second three is for group, other three is for other group or anyone else. So if we want to see the access control list, let me turn on the virtual machine. Get FSCL, then user is, let's say, user one is let's say test is whenever we create a user with the name of the same user, there used to be a group as well. Immediately it has been created. So let's see that we are going to modify everything in the test group. So we are going to we are going to check the current ACL for test, which should not be enabled. Yeah, so which is not enabled. So we want to enable that by giving the arguments using set FSAL command, set FACL command, and with -d is going to give the default argument. -m is going to modify, and we want to modify test. Then read, write, execute permission, and then home test. Now, if you want to see that again, now you can see that it has started giving what is the default permission for that. Read, write, execute, user test can read, write, execute, and group no permissions, mask is there, and other no permission. Since we have added explicitly for that particular user only to go ahead with. You want, we can add something like for group as well. G colon test read, write, execute. So you can see that previously we were not having any permission for the group. Now we are having additional column for the group, which is test and read, write. So any users inside the test group will have the permission of read, write x. So here, without the requirement for this is without changing any ownership, we are required to give a permission for reading or writing to a particular user for a particular file. So let's say I'm creating a user, or mm, user at, let's say, John. I've created a John user, and then I've created another user is Steve. Okay, so if I want to create a file, currently I want to go in test folder, and I want to create a file. Touch test testing file. Testing file we have created using root because we have logged in through root, and root will have permission everywhere. So there's no issue. And let's see, if I want to create any file using user John, then I will go to John, and then I will try to create it here. You can see that permission denied. So in you're working in an organization, and there is a requirement came like in uh, test has to be given permission, and let's say another person need not to have access to that particular directory, any another person. So by default, that's what it is. But if you want to give a specific person access to a specific file or a specific folder, that you can do that by ACL. Let's say if I want to give a John permission to my testing directory. Okay, let me show. I can create one directory, and then in that directory I can give a permission, not the whole directory. So if I do mkdir permission, so I need to add a permission so that John, user John, can read or write into this particular directory, into the test directory. So for that I will have to give the command gift fscl -m space test, sorry, not test this time John, and read, write, execute, and to which folder? Test. Sorry, what happened? Okay, that's our default as well. -m is, I should not give get, I should give set, because here I'm trying to set the permission. Okay, so from John I cannot do because John itself doesn't have permission. So I need to switch back to maybe root, or I need to switch back to test user. So only admin can do this, because if I'm the one who, if I suppose, let's say if I am John and if I wanted to do that, and if I am able to do that, then there is no, I mean, there's no meaning of having an admin account. So let me switch back to root. and run that command again. Read, write, execute, and then test. Now we are into the John, and get FSCL. We wanted to see what we have set, whether it's giving us a permission or not. Mm, okay, let's check first of all with that itself. Get FSCL test. We do have a John user read write permission inside this test directory. So, oh, John. Now let me touch a file. We don't, it shows that we don't have permission inside that particular directory. What could be wrong? Let me think. Mm, If I add John into the group, into the test group, it's not into the test group, and it is thinking that it's thinking that we might have a user, and in that group itself, John should be existing, and that particular user need to have a permission. So let me add John in the test group as well and see whether it's getting permission or not. Sudo I'm not into that another. So I'm root itself, so I can skip sudo. -a is for append, -g is for group. So I want to add in test group what user? John user. So now John, let me see if I do have permission there or not. Testing underscore John. It still says I don't have permission. So that is correct. It is owned by test and it is User John read X and test. Mm, mm, this looks okay. This looks okay. Test group. Mm, we do have a mask for read write text. I think I might need to remove that. Okay. I think I might need to change this. -r 770 test. We do have read write text enabled for the whole group itself. Okay. I am able to add a file using John, and I am able to do that. So I'm just trying to remove all the permission for John, and let's see if it's removing or not. John 1. No, it's not removing. So I think something has gone wrong. Hmm. Why I'm always giving the default? I should not give default every time. I should add only. So for adding, I should be giving only modify -m. So what I can say, let's try it again. Let's try it again from the different user. I do have a John. Okay, and I want to create, let's add both the user John and Steve in one group. Steve. Permission denied. Okay. Now I need to add the permission for this. Set fscl -m Steve. I want to give permission. Read, write, execute. No, not test. John directory. So okay. A Steve user should have access to the John folder. Okay. Steve has read-write access. Now I wanted to go touch. So this last 3 to 4 command, what I've done is, lastly, I have already altered in some of the last classes for modifying the permissions, and that's where it's getting confused. So what I've done is I have created a fresh account, John and Steve. I mean, which I have created fresh account now. I've taken those two accounts into the consideration, and what I've done is here it's permission denied. I have switched back to root, and I have added this group. Sorry, I have added uh, Steve inside the John's group, and after that I have switched back to Steve user, and I was trying to create a file inside John directory. Here you can see that it was giving me permission denied. That This Steve does not have permission to create any folder or file inside the John directory. So that's why it has given the permission denied. Now, I was trying to set the ACL, but it's not root, so it's given operation not permitted. I have switched back to root. After that, I have once again trying to set. So here I have to give -m, not the default. So default means there are something which is default setting for setting the ACLs. So we should not give. So whatever the default settings are already available, we are required to add all those settings. So for adding, we are going to use -m, and that particular this is the user. If we don't give anything before this user, it's going to be get considered a user, and then colon, and this is the permission read write x, and to which folder we wanted to give or which file we wanted to give the permission. So this is the John. John is the folder to which we wanted to give the permission. So I've looked over get fscl John. So here it shows us a Steve read write x. It has me permission, and now I'm running the same command which I have run here you can see that Steve is the user and I'm trying to run touch John and I'm trying to create a file. Same command I have run. That time it has given permission denied. Now the same thing I'm trying to run here. It's giving me successful file creation. It has not shown any error. Let me show you here. In John folder, you can see that test John, test Steve. These two files I have created by Steve. Okay. So it shows that we do have permission for Steve as well. Steve also can create through giving giving a permission through ACL. Steve can also create. So similar kind of thing. If you do require, like somebody wants to get a permission for that file or folder, you can give that permission of file and folder by adding -m, by giving the -m argument, which is going to add up the particular access control list into the existing access control list. And if you want to see what is the ACL, what is the existing ACL, you can always do get FACL and that particular folder. If it's already set, it will show. So any doubt here so far? Okay, if no doubt, then probably we'll proceed with the LVM. So overall have doubt in LVM. Like I have shared a link maybe on Friday, I believe. I'm not sure. I'm not sure it's on Friday or Saturday. So I have asked everybody to go through that link and try to execute the commands and ask if you have any doubt. So if nobody has any doubt, then I don't think I'm required to explain anything. If somebody has any doubt or any issues, you can come back and ask me. I will explain it. So let me start from starting. Whose name is coming first? Swanti. Are you able to execute all the commands and you are able to understand what the LVM says?
Sir, no, actually, I'm stuck to the first step itself, so I haven't reached to this point. So I'm like
Okay.
following your all the videos, so I'm trying to do the things from the very first step itself. So I haven't reached to this step, sir.
Okay.
So
Okay, fine. So I'll come back to your question maybe after the class. Okay,
okay, sir.
because you have mailed
Okay,
and I'm not sure if you're able to resolve that issue or not yet. So we'll come back after the class.
not yet, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. So next is Kangesh. Are you able to complete that LVM thing? LVM partitioning and LVM.
Yes, sir, I did.
Okay, great. Hemant Kumar. Hemant Kumar, are you there? If you're saying something, you're on mute. Ansh Jan.
ये से हो गया था
Okay, great. Pritesh. Okay, that's great. So I will separately resolve the problem of Swanti, and then probably she can also proceed further. So if no required, if it's not required me to explain, then probably I will not explain.
So for me, you are asking.
For
Yeah.
everybody, I am asking.
Okay.
You can try to execute after you come out of your problem, and if you still feel that you need an explanation, or you
Mhm.
got stuck at somewhere, probably you can come back to me. Since you are the only who is having problem, I can tell you separately. That's not a problem.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
So through mail only, I need to contact with you, or
Yes, you can contact me through mail.
okay, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We have completed installing of the package manually, and we have completed. We have seen the cron tab and rc.d things. We have seen boot process as well. While looking at the grub, we have seen how to recover system as well. We have seen. Have we seen the status using systemctl, like which are all services are running and starting or not? Anybody can reply. Okay, I can complete that right away. I think I have completed, but I'm not sure. Let's see. Systemctl-at space service gives us the list of all the services which are all loaded, active, and what are all substatus for that, whether it's running or not. So the load means like it's loaded at the runtime. Active means it's running or not running currently, and currently it's active or not, and sub means it's running currently or not running. So these are all the three things. I think I have shown it using HTTPD as well. I have shown that while stopping from the boot time, HTTPD it's stopped showing in load, and then it's stopped showing everywhere. And uh, when I have added the HTTPD into the using systemd in boot time, it just started showing in load menu, but it still was not active and it's not running since I haven't run it. So after running, it started showing active in active field and running in subfield. I think I remember that I have given that example. Okay, I'll proceed further. For this next exercise, I need to turn on the other machine as well. I am going to turn on CentOS July 2. And it's turning on. So there is a what I'm going to explain is like passwordless login through SSH. So in that there is a key concept, a public and private key. So that we need to understand first how it's going to work without a password itself. So we do have we are going to let's assume that we have a system 1 and system 2. So system 1, we are going to create a key combination. So key combination will come up with the public key and private key. So we are going to keep the private key. We are not going to share the private key at all. So the private key is going to lie down in system 1 itself, and there will be a public key. Public key we are going to transfer to another system, let's say system 2. And public key when we transfer into system 2, and in that we are going to copy the keys. We are going to copy the keys of copy the public key content of system 1 into system 2 authorized keys file. There is file in .ssh folder which named as authorized key. So in that we are going to copy it. After copying, it's going to give us authorization. Now how it's going to happen? Uh, system 2 is having a private key. Sorry, let me open a paint. This is system 1, this is system 2. Here I have generated a pub key 1, and then here I have generated a key 1 which is going to generate public key 1, and then private key 1. And after that I'm going to transfer that public key over here. Pub key 1, I'm going to copy this public key of system 1. Let me rename it here as well. In system 1, and this is system 2. So when I say that this public key 1 in the system 2, what we have is from the system 1. I've copied in a particular folder. So what happens when I try to log in from SSH from one machine to another machine? It's going to check with its private key, and it says it tries to decrypt this public key with the help of this private key. If it's able to, it means this set is matching and it has been made for this private key. So, or this public key has been made from this key only, from this private key only. So if it's both combination are same or it has been created, with the same private key, then this public key is going to be get decrypted, and the system one is going to be get granted the permission of system two. Let me say it again. From system one, I'm trying to log in through SSH into system two. So this private key, I need to, sorry, this public key, I am required to go and save it here at least once. So for that, I need a username and password. So I can log in and I can save this public key over here. And next time, whenever I'm going to log in, it's going to check the private key of system one. From system one, I'm trying to log in. So it's going to check the private key of system one with the public key is stored at system two. If both are match, if public key we are able to decrypt using private key, then we are good to go ahead for the login. System will grant me the login. That is how we have seen that even though after locking an account, we are able to log in using public key. I've showed that, or I have mentioned this, that if I do lock an account, we will be able to log in using public key and private key combination, because account is getting locked, only account login through the password. We are not locking, or we are not restricting a user for logging in through the public and private key combination. So for that, we are required to expire the account itself. That was the ultimate solution. If we expire the account itself, nobody will be able to log in. Even though if it's going to log in, it will get a prompt that account itself is expired, or we cannot log in that account. So that's the one key. So for that, we need to use the two system. So let me show both the screens and see how we are able to do that. Why it's still not coming? I need to see why the second screen is not coming. Oh, this is the system, new system it seems. Okay. This system will not have IP as well. Yes, it doesn't have. So, uh-oh. Mm-mm. It has taken some different IP. Let me change it. The system configuration here from NAT to host only adapter. Okay. We can start this tomorrow. That's not a problem. We do have. It's going to. It's. There are only just 2 more steps to complete. But since somebody is required to leave by 9 o'clock, sorry, immediately. So what we can do is we can stop the recording and probably we can start from here again from tomorrow.